Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the man whom Dads of Boy of Dads. He does that dadding of the boying and the boying of the dadding. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3, boy dad.
Boy bad boy, not safe for kids.
Boy bad. Is that the new boy band?
That would be a very interesting boy band.
Boy band. Boy band.
It would be like a dubstep for boy. Boy.
I'm sorry to spoil this for you, Mikey, but that's what the sequel to God of War is.
Kratos in his dubstep band.
That's right, bad boy.
Boy.
Atreus is going around doing dubstep in bands, and Kratos has to fucking stop that shit.
You play folk music in this family, or you play nothing.
You can disrespect me, you can disrespect women, but I won't have you fucking doing dubstep, son. No way.
No, son of mine. The only thing you'll be stepping on is the path on the way home.
Or your enemy's skulls.
But Dad, I have the music in my heart.
And then I'll have your heart in my hand, boy.
Just rips it out of a drummer just to prove a point.
Kratos just goes, it's better to start from zero.
Just waves under his like, control. You need control. Dad, it's everywhere.
Oh, that bad idea for a sequel for God of War. For the second one is somehow for some reason Kratos' dead wife comes back and he has to fight her at some point. That's not something I want, but there's something I could see it. You could see it, couldn't you?
You said it. Yeah. Like I'm already kind of annoyed it's going to be him versus Freya at some point, but at least it works narratively. But I'm still kind of annoyed by it.
Yes.
So like if they did, God, I don't want to say they wouldn't do that, but I'm sure.
Because it seems really obvious, but you could do some really interesting things with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could do something with it, like it turns out she was a monster all along or something. Or she didn't care, or she was so obsessed with killing the gods that this is all part of her grand plan.
For vengeance. Yeah, it's
vengeance?
In a team's hands that wasn't as good as the people that did this God of War. It would just be generic, like, I'm a spirit of regret and I've come back to haunt you. And you go, oh, well, that's lame. But in good people's hands, you could do something interesting with it, like you say. But I'd still, maybe, I hope they wouldn't go down that route, but who knows? It'll be a long time, like PS5 era, before I think we need to worry about a God of War 2. Or however they start numbering those games. Maybe it'll just be God of War, something. Rather than Ragnarok. God of War 2.
Ragnarok.
That's not a terrible name. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
God of War, Fimbulwinter. When you look
Fimbulwinter.
into Norse mythology, they have some real dumb names. Like, they have Order Blood and Blurden. That's a real thing.
What?
Or they have there was a genuine phrase in Norse mythology. Order Blood Bleeding. Or something.
I think you're saying that wrong.
That's the racist thing we say. No, I'm not. I'm not. That's the thing.
We'll look it up on Wiki, people. I think would be the smart thing to do.
But like, they said it. It's just like all of these words are dumb.
Remember, Mikey's the good guy here. But we're here today, Mikey, to talk about Transformers stuff. Though there's not much this week. I actually didn't ask you before we got started if I missed anything from the news stories. I don't think I did.
Oh, there is one bit of news to do with the comics we might as well throw in.
Alright, you can interject that when we get up to it then.
I will throw that in your face like I do everything else.
Oh my god, that's why my face is all bruised and lumpy. But we're going to start off the news this week with custom stuff with Newage Toys. They're doing the legend scale stuff, or continuing it on, I should say, with the G1 Seekers and Cone Heads. They've shown prototypes and other bits and bobs. We've seen Starscream, we've seen Thundercracker. No, Mikey, he comes with no dog. No.
He should.
He comes with no woman either.
He should.
And we see a Skywarp. I want to say we've seen the Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker before, though.
I don't think we have. I think we've seen some prototype images. But
I'm 90% sure we have, because I'm sure we saw them with these little feet blasts.
I don't. Well, I mean, I've seen feet blasts before, but I don't think it was these guys.
All right. Well, either way, I know for a fact we haven't seen Dirge, Ramjet, and Thrust, so they're new. But I don't think it's. I think it is fair to say that it's not super surprising to see them.
Yes, I also like, even if these aren't new or they are new, it's not surprising we can never really tell anymore. Because how many of these things have there been over the years?
Seekers are popular, and I'd say almost quite rightly so. Like, you do Starscream, who's a popular character, and then you just make 2 more that are exactly the same in different color schemes, and then you slightly tweak them, and then you've got another 3 things. So it makes sense, at least to me. And unfortunately, no Mikey. Ramjet does not come with the Construct Bot. Is that what they were called?
Mini Constructicon.
Mini Constructicon. When are we going to get a Mini Constructicon accessory?
I'll tell you when. Never, because there's no joy in the world.
It's true. That was your first podcast. If people forget, talking about that spotlight.
You can go find it if you want, guys, but I wouldn't.
Oh my, yeah, that's decades old. At least a decade old. At least
that was a moment I think we all regret,
and we've never lived it down. So what are the names of these guys? We've got Beelzebub, which is Ramjet, Manmom, the ultimate He-Man villain is Mum. Mom, which is Thrust, and Mephisto, which is Dirge. They're going for a very Diablo naming convention here, it feels like.
Well, like the first one's Starscream is Lucifer.
We don't have the names for the other 2, do we?
No, but I'm assuming it's other
demons.
Hey, welcome to Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also like the H13T Lucifer version, which is the crown one.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't know there was a specific
technically there are
crowned
7 versions of this toy that hasn't been released yet.
Do you think we'll get a translucent one?
Oh, I think we'll probably get Translucent. We'll definitely get Sunstorm.
Yes.
Probably get a Rainmaker pack.
Oh, well, yeah. With the popularity of the Siege one, I wouldn't be shocked if something came with that. People like the Rainmakers; they are nifty colors. Apart from the blue one, to be honest, the blue one
Thundercracker.
That blue one needs some creative liberties taken with him, just to inject some extra bits to him to make him a bit more distinct, I think. Like, remember when Acid Storm came out for Generations and they gave him that stupid camo for a plane that flies in the sky? That's creative liberty, which I can get behind because it makes no sense and I like it, instead of just a green jet. But if you just go with lime green, that's okay as well, because there is no lime green Seeker. So I'm okay with that as well.
There probably is.
Well, yeah, it's him. Acid Storm's a lime green Seeker.
No, there's probably like some background guy who's also lime green.
That must just be Acid Storm, though, right?
I don't know. There's probably more than one, because like there's also like I think at some point there's been like a ton of other ones in the backgrounds of stuff. So if it's not, because Acid Storm is these days more traditionally seen with the camo. I think lime green is probably like Lime Storm, Citrus Storm.
What if Seekers colored the same have to go through a Highlander process of there can only be one? So there could be thousands of dead Thundercrackers, and the one that we see in the show is the triumph, the one that won over all the other Thundercrackers, which is why in the original series, why we see so many like pinkish purpley ones, because they're still going through the process of wringing out who the true one is. Write a comic from that.
We saw a few, we'd see 2 at once. It wasn't an error at all. It was just, yeah. Oh god. That's
why there were 2 Starscreams at that one point. It wasn't Skywarp. The other Starscream. Yeah, makes you think, doesn't it? It's bullshit. I'm lying, but you never know. Mikey, do you have any opinions on these figures then?
I think these look really nice. The transformations seem pretty solid. They end up with really clean jet modes. Very good posability for their scale. I like the face sculpts a lot. Wish Starscream came with more than one head. Kind of wish he came with at least like repaints of Thundercracker and Skywarps, because I know why we go for the smirk, but he had other expressions. I like the cone heads quite a bit.
It's nice to see on the cone heads. They all have a different facial expression.
Yeah, like
That's
they
neat.
all look very individual.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really neat. I wouldn't say it's like capturing their characters, because, hey, remember the cone heads?
I was going to throw in there. I don't know what their characters were.
Yeah.
In the show,
I
at
like
least.
I like the accessory counts.
Yes, yeah.
I like the fact that you get the space bridge parts, and then you can use them to make a stand or make
that's
display
what that
when you
is.
get more. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's really, really neat. Effect parts are good. Who is it who comes with like your Starscream comes with the whole crown. You can get a crown version of him, and like a couple of extra guns, and that's it's fine. I'm kind of past the give my Starscream a helmet phase of life, but I think all three of the main three come with Megatron guns, which I feel is a little excessive, if I'm honest.
I think that's more of just a reuse of the mold, that they just went, we'll just inject it. Whatever.
Overall, no, I think these guys are looking pretty solid. Newage used to do a lot of knockoffs, if I remember right. So it's quite nice seeing their sort of original take on things.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I still think these are all very impressive. I honestly didn't realize that the big purple thing, apart from being a stand, was part of a space bridge. So the question might be, who's gonna come with the really stupid thing that reflector was shoved into, the little car? Are we gonna get that part, or will it just form a big old ring? How many of these will you need to make the full ring? Because I guess
I'd say it's going to be. You probably need 8, but I suspect it's more like, here's half a space bridge and stick 3 Seekers together.
Maybe. I mean, I think that might be a good gauge on maybe how many more Seekers there might be. But then again, I say that it might just be, here are more Decepticons with other bits of the space bridge as well. Who knows? No, I think these are really neat. They look cool. I think the Newage did that Megatron that everybody loves as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think they did a Bumblebee as well.
I think so. Yeah, they're definitely an up and coming company. They seem like they're doing good work, at least. So I can appreciate that, even though it's not the most out there in terms of character choices. It's a very safe choice, but as we've said before on the show, it's an easy bet to put your money into, like Seekers, Bumblebee, Megatrons, Primes. So you can't really blame them for that. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next bit of news?
Yeah, we've got pictures of 115 Utopia YYW04A. Jesus.
Were you trying to say that as a word?
I was trying to say it without tripping over myself.
Oh.
This is an upgrade kit for Studio Series 44 Jetwing Optimus Prime. So this gives you a chance to make him a bit more dark of the Mooney. You get extra wings and turbine fillers, and you get extra pieces to attach to a jetpack. And you also get, because I don't think, did he come with this? Did he come with the ring?
I don't think so.
But I don't know if he came with the ring in the trailer.
I don't think so.
So if he did, we're sorry. But hey, we haven't kept up with Studio Series beyond what we say in the podcast.
What was the ring for again? Was that just a weapons holder?
Weapons. It was all weapons. His trailer turned into a big ring.
Okay.
I think this is all right. Nothing's really flying out at me as massively interesting. Like gap fillers on the wings is, fine. Also, I think they're changing his feet.
Are they heel extensions or something?
Yeah, which is cool.
I think that's probably well. I'm guessing if they're giving
functional, I'm assuming.
Yeah, if they're giving you heel extensions, they're probably super necessary. He's probably quite back heavy, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure he is. But I think if you're into this figure, I think this is really good. If you're not, it certainly isn't encouraging me to get one.
Sure.
It is making me think of the pictures of the bloody trailer from Earthrise, though.
I had a feeling you might want to talk about that later today.
€60.
Woo!
But yeah. Any thoughts yourself, Andy?
It's a big ring. It's a big ring. And like you said, apart from maybe the wing fillers and the heel extensions, it's kind of a bit of a shrug. Like I don't know. I do appreciate like gap fillers though. Just they shouldn't be necessary. But at this point in time, it seems that they really are for the way that Hasbro are making toys at the moment, or did. I still think they are doing it, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those things. It's all right. Not cool though.
Since that was short, I'll take the next one as well.
Okay.
Third-party company Devil Saver, who are doing a combining Constructicons Revenge of the Fallen Devastator, have revealed prototypes of their DS04 Smash, which is long haul because he's the green one.
Yeah, we looked at who was the one we looked. No, it wasn't
Master.
No, it wasn't Mixmaster. It was one of the new. The new ones.
Overload.
Overload, yeah, I think it was Overload, and they gave him like Devil. Oh no, Devil Survivors. This now I can't remember what they called him. It's that one. We thought it looked really cool last week.
Yeah. Well, this is his cousin Longhaul.
Okay.
Who is the Constructicon with the most toy presents, as it is. And yeah, honestly, I think he's turned out pretty good. He looks very, very poseable. Turns into a leg up to the knee.
Yep.
Has a lot of the junk in the trunk that Longhaul's design has, but he does seem to have slimmed it out a bit, which I think is good. And he the posability seems top notch in this guy. I really hope the transformation is not a nightmare, but looking at him in his dump truck mode, there's just a sense that there is just a robot curled up under there.
Yep.
Which, I mean, there are times and places for that.
What places?
We'll
what times?
Shut up. Also, Devastator is going to be called Troublemaker.
Oh.
That just makes him sound like he's just like, scratching cars and stuff like that. Devastator, you troublemaker. I was going to make a Dennis the Menace reference there, but I've realized that one, that dates me terribly, and two, I don't remember enough of Dennis the Menace.
The cartoon or the book or both?
Any of them.
No, that's fair. Neither do I, to be honest.
What do you think of this guy, Andy?
I'm more interested to see how he stacks up against the Hasbro one that came out recently. See what the differences are between them, because this feels like it's how he should look, and I want to know what the limitations of the Hasbro version in comparison to this one are. Like, does this one have better articulation? I assume it does, since it can do the Iron Man pose. Does it have a more interesting transformation? Again, I would imagine so, just because it's the third-party toy and they can go, fuck it, do whatever. But he looks impressive, and he looks like he, I guess, should look. It would be nice to see him with colour on. As usual, not for me, but Devil Survivors seem like they're doing some interesting-looking figures or representations of the movie stuff at the very least, I'd say.
Yeah. In that case, Andy, take us on.
Sure, right. Mikey, do you like smoking?
Smoke.
Do you like fog?
Smoke.
And dust?
Are you smoking yet?
I'm tempted. Well, they've decided to slightly remold and repaint their Wheeljack figure, whatever that was called. Oh, Hex Wrench, apparently. And he's come with a new head and new accessories, and they're doing Dust Fog, who was Exhaust. If you remember from a while ago. Actually a long time ago, I suppose, at this point, when they redid the Masterpiece Wheeljack into Marlboro, I think was his name at one point.
Yeah, and then they had to change it to Exhaust. And then they had to change the paint apps or something like that.
Do you think they changed it to Exhaust so that they could keep doing this scheme without it having to be licensed out to Marlboro?
I don't know. I'm assuming that was at least a plan, but then they never did another one.
Yeah. I will say that the color scheme on I'm not a big fan of the head design, but I think the color scheme on him looks really nice. Like the red and the numbers on him again looks really nice and poppy. He maybe it would have been nice if it wasn't just white, but again they're following off previous design choices, so I can't blame them for that. Looks decent. It's going to be in a limited run of 1,999. guess they just didn't want to hit that 2,000 mark for whatever reason. And will most likely be an exclusive.
Ran out of paint.
Maybe that was it. It's likely to be an exclusive for SGC in mid-December, so like in a few weeks' time, I suppose. So if you had SGC, you could probably pick up this boy and some cigarettes as well, if you like. If people still do that. Do you have any thoughts on this, Mikey? Apart from
Not
smoke?
really. I think he looks pretty solid. It's a good color scheme. Robot mode looks very nice. I like exhaust. I like our Marlboro boy. Always have. So I'm glad to have another version of him out there.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I don't think there's much else to say on that. So, Mikey, do you want to tell me about a comic then?
Yes, so IDW Comics have released their solicitations for February, and a kind of surprise one that I'm also kind of surprised it's taken this long to put one out. We are getting a Transformers Valentine's 2020 special. So there are going to be 2 stories in here. The writers, I had their name up here a minute ago. Give me a second. Okay, the writers are Kate Le and Patrick Ellers, and art is being done by Jack Lawrence and Sarah Preter-Dirochet. So these are, this is kind of, Bookish Glyph wants a challenge to do work for Xena. Bookish Glyph wants a challenge to do work for Xena.
What?
I don't know. This is badly written. It's not just data analysis. This feels Google translated. Athletic Tapout needs a challenge. His boxing career isn't working out so well. Okay, maybe there's supposed to be a pause. When one mission presents both of them with a chance to meet new challenges head on, will they be able to lift each other up to the task, or will they get in each other's way? Robomance is real in this adventure, focusing on love in the Transformers universe. Backup story written by real-life engaged couple.
Okay.
Good for them. So we've got cover art, and it's Tap Out and Glyph. It's a repaint of Bumblebee and a repaint of Cliffjumper, getting it on in some flowers. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of surprised it's taken this long for this to happen, really. Also, like, I had a look, a lot of the advertising around this is kind of like, robots in love? More likely than you'd think. And I'm just like, really?
What?
Really? How we're saying that now?
I mean, we haven't had any kind of romance stories in Transformers ever.
No, never. Not a one, Andy.
Not one.
Nope. They're all asexual, agendered, a-loving thingies.
Yeah.
None of them are boys and girls, or somewhere on the vague and still being defined spectrum of gender identity. And none of them have ever been attracted to any other ones.
Of course.
All is well.
Praise Hypnotoad.
Robomance. Jesus. That's bad. That's bad. Like, just that's very bad. Andy, have you ever felt the tug of Robomance?
No. I'm afraid I have not.
Bot and bot relations?
It's not for me. So what? Like, I'd never heard like when you mentioned like a Valentine's Day issue or something like that, a Valentine's special. I had no idea what the fuck you were talking about. Is this a thing in comics? Has this been a thing that I've never heard of? I've never heard of Valentine's Day issues.
I saw one for DC a couple of years ago, which was Solomon Grundy Gets a Girlfriend.
Okay.
Apparently, like, all the superheroes came together to help him get a girlfriend or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but I have seen Valentine's Day specials.
Huh.
Maybe it depends on when Valentine's Day falls.
That would
Wednesday?
make sense. Yeah.
Let's see. Feb 2020 calendar.
I suppose, like, Fear Agent is an appropriate series to have a Valentine's Day special in it. Because it would just end badly and with a lot of drinking.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of Valentine's Day ends that way for people.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, whatever. I can't say I'm super excited. I'd rather more shooty bang bang than I would do love stuff, especially since we've had a lot of love stuff in the past, like, I don't know, 10 years.
Does this mean we're getting a Tap Out and a Glyph toy?
Not anytime. Well, maybe as an exclusive. I don't see them.
Repaint of Bumblebee and repaint of Cliffjumper.
Yeah, that's
And
why.
In an age where that's all they do anymore, and these comics don't have original characters if they like that can be toys unless they're a toy at the moment.
Well, you see, I mean, we've had we've also had like exclusives of Nightbird and the other lady one. So, and they're repaints and they're ones that wouldn't sell to kids, not because they're female characters, just because who these motherfuckers, no one cares. Like,
yeah, but
little child doesn't care about them.
Yeah, but little child doesn't care about any of the characters we care about, Andy.
No, and it's true. They care about Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, and then maybe Megatron.
Yeah, but this way they can get a basically green and a blue Bumblebee.
I think if they do these two figures, it will be whatever the premium. What they call the new line premium?
Selects.
What?
Selects.
Is it collects? Selects. Yeah, Hasbro.
Selects.
It'll be under the Hasbro Selects line as maybe a 2-pack or something.
Hmm.
Because I do agree that since we do have a Bumblebee coming out, and we do have we haven't seen the Bumblebee, but we know we're getting a Cliffjumper coming out. It's an easy do, and it's an easy do specifically for the comic market, so you can kind of bump the price up a bit more on them if you wanted. And 2 more Autobots I don't care about.
Let us see.
Give me Decepticons.
Never.
G2 Decepticons.
Romance. Where's that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Andy, take us on.
Right, Mikey. I'll be honest, this was originally going to go into a Crappy Corner story until I saw the GIF that is on the story. Have you seen the little GIF that's going on?
No, I'm scrolling through now, so...
It should be the first, like, as soon as you open it, it's the first thing. Maybe it's not a GIF, it's a little video that plays on continuous loop. For those at home, it's the official transforming Bumblebee mask and speaker by Killerbody, who I've never heard of before.
No, me neither.
Images surfaced via Killerbody's Weibo page, showing a grid design process using the CGI models from the Bumblebee movie, recreating all the details seen on screen. Excuse me. The result is a Bumblebee Bluetooth speaker that can really... Hang on. A Bumblebee Bluetooth speaker that you can really wear as a mask. Okay, I see. It features lights and amazing rust deco. Do you want more? Question mark. It can really transform from a regular face to a battle mask. So it's a helmet mask thing that also has the ability to transform itself via I was going to say remotes, via motors and stuff, flipping down the battle mask and closing up. So the idea behind it and the actual mechanic is it's not fast. It's not like a super like in the movie where you just kind of flip it in a second and go and it was done. It's a bit more slow because it needs to work in the real world with a small motor. But the fact that it does it, I think is really fucking cool. And I'd be psyched to get it as a kid.
Well, Andy, this is not designed for kids.
It will be bought for kids though.
Not that the price this will probably be selling at.
Oh no, it'll be super expensive, but kids will be wanting it. I mean, they have a picture of a small child touching it, looking very happy, and then looking very, very like scared or surprised, out of focus as he's probably seeing the Bumblebee mask for the first time. Like, oh fucking shit, I want that, Dad.
Dad, what's it doing? It's alive.
I would love it as as it transforms, it screams. Like it's painful for it to transform. That'd be fun.
Or the eyes turn red.
Oh, where's the pink version?
Oh God.
Laserbeak version. I'm just saying, if anybody who listens to the show does buy this, you're obligated to turn it pink and make it into the Laserbeak one.
Yep.
Could you not find a video of it?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, so the video was basically the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images on the image thing. It just kind of shows you. It moves really smoothly. I'm surprised how good this is. Mikey, what do you think of this little mask from a company that we've never heard of till now?
I'm very like I said, I'm curious to see how much it costs. But this is neat. This is a neat bit of engineering. It really sets it apart from a lot of what we've gotten here. I'd be curious to see if it's got any sound functions or anything like that. Kind of would hope it would.
It says it's a Bluetooth speaker, so I assume it probably has something.
Of course, because you can play radio through it.
Oh no!
You get it? You get it, Andy?
Oh man.
I just want to be the person walking around wearing this thing and saying like, "It's okay, guys. I'm ready for any situation." Battle mask comes down.
Yeah, so I like the idea that you're like at a restaurant with this helmet on, and it's like, "I'm sorry, sir, your food's been delayed." Beep. Battle mask comes down. Beep. Looks at the rest of the people on your table. What's he doing? He thinks he's cool. Don't worry. I will kill you.
I won't be seeing him again.
Spit in his food.
Yeah. No, it looks fun. It looks neat. Yeah, I just think it's a neat bit of engineering, really.
Same. Do you think they'd be able to do like the Optimus Prime battle mask? Because it's not really one piece moving. It at minimum it would be like two pieces kind of moving to get the faceplate closed.
It depends on which Optimus you're doing.
It would be some version of the movie one.
Yeah, it would have. Well, it would have to be like pre-Bumblebee if you're doing a movie.
Oh yeah, because this is Bumblebee movie Bumblebee rather than just movie
and
Bumblebee.
Optimus in that one just has faceplate.
That's true. Yeah. Well, as far as we know, he might have a little mouth.
But he talked and it moved, so I'm assuming it doesn't go anywhere. Because it doesn't. It just sort of holds still when he's talking in the other one. I don't know. Like you could. I mean, it would look slightly terrifying.
Oh, but this doesn't.
Well, in comparison to like an accurate Optimus Prime movie face that put one of his weird bitty face masks over it and just like, it's like, yeah, kill us all. Put on the helmet and you just have the spirit of movie Prime going through you. Must kill.
This is why you're not allowed to have one, I'm sure.
I am now Murder Prime. But no, I think this is cool. I think it's a great bit of engineering. Don't know anything about Killerbody, so I don't know what the actual quality will be.
No.
But hope for the best.
Yeah, well, if the price point's high on it, which like I think we can safely assume it probably won't be cheap at the very least. And if it is expensive, then one would hope it's like decent at the very least.
Hey, but sure hope. Then again, Andy, you know, some companies release $500 toys with paint chipping and bad legs.
Oh!
And then tell you should be grateful for it.
Oh.
Because they got
Black Lives Matter.
for chord 3 lines.
Never forget Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Did you see his video on the Yamaguchi Prime?
Yeah, which was amusing to me. Just like non-transforming, and just like, oh, look at all the crap you on.
As soon as he said that, I had like horrible war Vietnam flashbacks of like the forums, and us every week talking about how people need to calm the fuck down. And I thought, oh no, Joby's gone to Vietnam. Oh no, he's gonna fight in the wars. They must transform.
I'll be waking up in the middle of the night. I was just remembering. Oh god.
You know what? That Optimus Prime didn't look too bad.
No, I think it turned out pretty well.
It still looks like a Yamaguchi figure, but luckily without all of the terrible joints or the 40-year-old joints.
The crazy weird proportions.
Oh, it does. The one maybe bad thing, it doesn't have the Yamaguchi thrust.
Oh yeah, well I'm sure it can do the thrust if you needed to.
Yeah, but it's not its default pose.
No, its default pose is not its groin 4 feet ahead of its backside.
All I remember is like the tiny plump Wolverine figure just like ramming his groin into your face.
To be fair,
do you see my Canadian bulge? Yes, I see it, Wolverine. Look at it.
It's low to the ground for safety.
Berserker Barrage. No! Oh. Oh no, Logan.
Oh, Logan-san.
Mikey, you may as well wrap us up with the next few stories because they're fairly quick fire, going into convention stuff.
Conventions. First off, TFCon Toronto 2020 has announced its dates, which are July 10th to 12th in the Hilton in Toronto. This is just confirming when you need to be there, guys. tfcon.ca for further information and booking and everything else. Nothing's up there quite yet, but it will be there soon. The other bit of convention news is that TF Nation have announced several guests. The first one is Bette McGuire Smith, who is one of the artists working on the current comics. She's previously been she did a lot of fan work beforehand, like as many of the current artists has. In sort of IDW original days, and she is just like she has regularly attended TF Nation, so she is going to be there as a guest this time. She'll have prints and art and a few covers to sign, and you can get some stuff signed by her. And the other one is Sarah Stone, who is a person I thought had actually dropped off the face of the planet. So Sarah worked on IDW back when Windblade started. She did some very cool art, but unfortunately got kind of overwrought and by some of the scheduling of doing ongoing comic series, so she ended up not sticking around for very long, which I think you and I will certainly agree was a big shame.
Yeah, we really liked her artwork.
She did Windblade, and she did a little bit of Combiner Wars. She also did some cover art and some artwork for the hardcover volumes. So Sarah is going to be there. She works in video games as well. So she sounds like an interesting person, what little I know about her. So I think it's an interesting little get. Mm-hmm. The last one, we can skip, I suppose.
If you like.
Someone would just hear like, riot. Yeah, so TF Nation announced its next Transformers Prime-ish related guest.
It is Transformers Prime related.
It's Transformers Prime related guest, but probably will not be thought of as a Transformer Prime related guest.
No, I think that's fair to say.
Because in a first ever, in a specific UK Transformers fan convention appearance, which basically means it's first time at TFN, because there aren't any other ones, they have got, as part of the 35th anniversary for the original cartoon, Mr. Peter Cullen.
Yay!
He will be making his first appearance in the UK. He is going to be available during the week.
That's not true.
But Andy, no, he'll be available during the weekend.
No, that is true. It's not true that this will be his first convention in the UK, because technically...
What do you speak of, Andy?
Because technically the Liverpool convention that's happening on March the 3rd, I think is going to have him first. So originally I thought as well that, Peter Cullen's first UK convention. That's really cool, and that's how it's promoted on TFW as well. And then I saw this post from the Liverpool Comic Con pop, and I was like, "Oh, when's that? March 3rd." Okay, well, Liverpool got him first. Bummer. Dirty Liverpudlians. Yeah, we both went there. Good man. Fucking Scousers. Confuse the Americans.
Yes, they've also got Frank.
They do, yeah. That was something that's worth mentioning as well. They do have Frank Welker going, which is surprising because I wouldn't have thought. Like, I don't know how big Liverpool Comic Con is, to be fair, but
not a clue.
No, so maybe it is bigger than I'm assuming.
Well, it is probably bigger than TFN.
Maybe, I guess.
Most conventions are. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, some of them.
Even the Irish Comic Con is bigger than TFN.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
That's got like 5 people and Nick Roach.
Oh no!
No one else shows up. It's just Nick sitting there in the corner going like, "I'll never leave."
Waving.
I got the bus down. Because I live up the road. I
don't know if that's a joke.
He's getting weird.
What do you mean getting? Let's be fair. Let's not lie. Come on now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. He's a lost cause. So Peter Cullen's career in Transformers doesn't really need an introduction. No. It's gotten to the stage where people are literally being hired because they can vaguely sound like him. Mm-hmm. And he's also appeared in Visionaries, Knight Rider, Winnie the Pooh, Predator. He has had a wide-ranging portfolio.
Yes.
So. It's going to be a little different than normal. In most TF Nation events, if you don't know, there might be a price for signing. You might have to pay a fee for signing, you might not, but in general, there'll be a lot of socialization with the guests. They'll hang around the bars, they'll be available usually during events, they'll frequently just sort of wander around, mix with the audience, and have a grand old time. However, this is Peter Cullen, and they are very aware of the fact that he is probably the most expensive guest they ever done, and he is someone who has a very set schedule in how he does conventions. So they have decided that the Peter Cullen experience will be a separately ticketed event. If you want to meet Peter or get something signed or anything like that, it is going to cost you a bit extra. A bit extra.
Yeah.
A bit extra.
A bit.
So just for reference, last year's tickets were £65 for the weekend, which is pushing it a little bit. So there is going to be a leader package. So this will grant you an in-person autograph signing with the voice of Optimus Prime himself. Your ticket will entitle you to one autograph on any item you wish to bring along. Please keep the yaoi to a minimum.
Is that what it says in the story?
No, but I think we all know. But we need to point that out. Attend a separate photography session with a professional photographer, who'll probably be Nick. Will take your portrait alongside Mr. Cullen. If you've never met Nick, he's probably seen you from the rafters or whatever he's hanging from upside down by his legs as he's photographing things.
That's true.
Nick will photograph everyone and everything within a 100-mile radius. Mm-hmm. And usually he will, this is true, he will dive at you to try and get you to do something natural, which is usually screaming because this lanky fecker with a camera has just dived into your face going like, camera! He's a nice guy. You'll get early seating at Peter Cullen's panels. You'll also get early access to the TF Nation 2020 Trader Hall on Saturday morning, and it will also include the full range of events as normal. Anything else? No. So this package will cost you, if you want the signing and everything else, £220.
Damn!
Yeah, you will also get an exclusive piece of limited edition art done by the TFN official artist, Ed Peary. It's going to be signed by Peter. It will be available when you arrive in the convention. If you're not going for the Peter Cullen package, you can get the art piece when you're buying tickets normally, but it will cost you £50. So, yeah. This is going to be available in limited numbers starting in February 2020. So yeah, usual stuff about when you buy tickets, you'll get directed to the hotel page, so you can decide where you want to go and stay and everything else. But it is fair to say, I think an extra 135.
Potentially, because I was interested to see what the prices for the tickets were this year. So I went to the site, and they don't have any of them listed at the moment. So we don't know what the standard price is.
No.
Me and Mikey are guessing they might not be massively high, but we think they might be higher than last year.
I would not be surprised if it hit 70, at least.
Neither would I, because we were guessing it was 60. You said 65 last year, didn't you? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you say, wouldn't be shocked if it was 70, maybe 75 or more, which I get why that would be the case, but, But that's just me, that's fine. A lot of people are understandably super excited about this. People,
yes,
for some reason, love Peter Cullen. And as far as I'm aware,
is real.
He was just Eeyore, so who gives a shit?
Fucking Eeyore.
Whoa! You need to calm your tits down, Mikey. You can't say shit like that in the show. I'll need to edit that out.
Fucking Eeyore.
Fucking Eeyore, man. What a prick.
Cheer up, you little shit. You don't have a problem.
Emo,
you're not
get
even
the fuck
real.
out.
You're the delusions of a child no one loved.
Oh, damn. Take that, Christopher.
Tell me I'm wrong. Christopher fucking liar.
I was going to call him Christopher McLovin, but that isn't his name.
Christopher McLovin would be a much better character.
Christopher McLovin is what he became when his life failed and he had to become a porn star.
And got a fake ID.
That's right. So, yeah... a lot of people super excited. Me personally,
very excited.
I don't go to TF Nation for guests myself. I go down to see human beings, as I don't get to do that any other time of the year. That's not even really a joke, unfortunately. So it's for me, it's not a big deal at all. It's just a thing. Though I think it's interesting and kind of cool that they were able to get him. But I think because we've seen the way that the packages are done, I think, well, both me and you talked about this. It's quite obvious why this package exists. It's to basically pay for Peter Cullen, because we know from other conventions he's not cheap. He's just not cheap in general. because movie star and big fan, Transformers man, so it totally makes sense. But for them to get him over, I think is quite impressive at the very least. Now, you mentioned Frank Welker as well, going to Liverpool Comic-Con. And I suggested that I wouldn't be shocked. I don't know. I've not been told anything about this. I'm just taking a stab at the dark. I don't think it's a huge risky bet if you wanted to put down and say, hey, Frank Welker might be going, and they haven't announced it yet. I think that's a fairly safe bet, because we know that Peter Cullen seems to be Frank's chaperone. We'll laugh because it's funny, but it is kind of true.
Yeah, Peter does seem to be kind of his minder.
Yeah, maybe not in a bad way, but it is something that you noticed. Like, if I recall, he did Frank Welker didn't go to any conventions until Peter went, come on.
No, he basically nagged him into it by all accounts.
Yeah, so
he just followed him around going like, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. Go on.
Maybe it's one of those safety things of, okay, Frank will go, but if Peter's going. So we're not saying that it's gonna happen. Not saying that at all. But if it does, Mikey, do you think the price of 220 that they mentioned for Peter includes Frank? If that happens, or do you think it would be done differently?
Being completely honest.
Yes. No. Lie to me.
You're a beautiful man.
Thank you. I needed that.
I honestly would say that the price does not include Frank Welker. Because I think Peter Cullen is going to cost them actual thousands.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, which means he is not cheap, and if they do not want to take money away from other potential guests, they are going to need to find some way to finance him. And I think if you would need a large chunk of that money to be going towards Peter Cullen as a guest.
Yeah.
I think there will be another package for Megatron.
Well, you're not wrong.
But I also think there will be a joint package option, which will cost, I would be shocked if it wasn't £300.
Ooh, if Peter Cullen's 220,
I could see like, hey, you want to see both? Here's how you'd see him cheap.
I'd see like if they're doing both. Again, we don't know if they're doing both. 350 minimum. Minimum 350.
Yeah, and I think people will pay it. To be
honest.
Yeah,
because it's the first time. Not including Liverpool Comic-Con, that people in the UK will have to see Frank Welker if he's coming, and definitely Peter Cullen. Yeah,
because it occurred to me today, like in America, Peter Cullen has been part of the fan circuits for
good few
couple
years,
of decades now,
at least.
Because he was early BotCons.
Yeah,
not like 90s BotCons, but I know early 2000 BotCons.
Yeah, I can't like you say, I can't remember which was the first one he came to, but yeah, he's been going for a while.
Let's see what.
Because the joke that like Vangelis goes is, oh, Peter Cullen's got a panel. You know exactly what he's gonna say because he's told all the stories. So
yeah, it's like when James goes to TFN. It's just like, we know, James. Stop rubbing yourself on the counter like that while you're talking. It doesn't make it more interesting. We've all heard it before.
I think some people would disagree with you there, Mikey. If people saw him rubbing a counter, people would be interested in that.
Yeah, Peter Cullen's first BotCon was 1997.
Oh, really? Wow. He can't have done them consistently.
2, 3. He did 2004, 2006, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 17.
Oh, so he has done a lot.
He's done a lot.
But not in the UK.
Not in the UK. So there are a lot of people who have a lot of things they want to say to him or want to have that moment of meeting their hero.
That sounds really threatening.
Act next time.
Oh,
let me.
Damn.
They won't let me.
They tell me to kill my emotions.
Yeah. They get me drunk before every time. I don't even drink alcohol socially. So, I think this is a very big deal for a lot of fans. I think I said it to you earlier on today. It's telling that 5 or 6 years ago, I would maybe not be the super pumped, but I would have a lot more buzz to this idea.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure what caused that to go. when the guests stopped mattering to me, because ultimately I talk to the guests I know, I socialize a bit with the guests I know, I occasionally meet new ones and have a chat with them, but I'm always been very aware that these people are being hounded constantly by hundreds of people over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason. The same for me as well. I have this horrible thing of I don't like to bother people, and I know they're being paid, but I still wouldn't want to bother them.
Yeah, like it's one thing to go up to Nick and occasionally, like, you know, tip his food over or something. That's Nick. But
that's just
Alex,
the Irish way.
Alex, you poke him and run away.
I was gonna say you don't tip Alex's food over unless you want to die, Mikey. Come on now.
You make the move and make it as fast and easy as possible.
Is this why Alex doesn't like you? Because you did that once.
He said he's had many reasons over the years.
That's understandable.
Yeah. Peter Spellows shows up and we all just like sit around telling Peter Spellows he's Peter Spellows. Or Greg at this stage is part of it all.
Yeah.
Like Greg Berger shows up. No, like it's like, oh, Greg Berger's back, isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
This is, I don't get excited for new guests anymore. Like, even like the ones I got excited were like Kei-Zama or Hayato Sakamoto, neither of which spoke English.
Yeah.
Like Kei, you can talk to her now, but like it's taken 3 years of her actually going up to learn it. I don't even know if Sakamoto picked up any. He was supposed to be back the next year, but he didn't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh well, maybe one day. But they can't keep Kei away now. She just won't leave. She keeps saying she's back in Japan. I don't believe it for a second.
She just wants to be.
She's renting a place in Birmingham, getting drunk. But Peter Cullen from me is like, okay, what else? And that's a weird thing to say.
I think it's because me and you've talked about it before, and we've been like, you know what would be really cool, even though they'd never get these as guests because they're not actually Transformers related. The costume designers or the suit actors for a Godzilla movie. Like, it'll never happen, but that'd be really interesting to learn the process of designing a tokusatsu suit.
Yeah.
Or the set for a tokusatsu. How do you shoot a tokusatsu movie, a Godzilla film? What's it like to be in the suits and act and do all that stuff? That would be, I find that really interesting, and it's stuff I haven't heard. But that's not going to happen at a Transformers convention.
No. Apart from that one time they had you on from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But it's also the fact that you and I, and something we've talked about, this is not going to be like any other guest experience any of you have ever had at TF Nation.
No.
This is going to be much more like it is at a, inverted commas, professional convention.
Well, as far as we're aware, this is the guest, but I think it's a safe bet.
Like what I know of his previous appearances at other things, they're a lot more controlled. There's a lot less attempt at socialization.
Yeah.
Much more rigid. Much more time centric. You don't find him wandering around the bar hanging out with everyone. Basically, it's I would expect something similar to what Steve Blum's first appearance was, which was his case more self-induced because he didn't realize you could come downstairs.
That's right. Yeah.
He basically assumed that after the convention you go back upstairs.
That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot that's how he
and
thought
like,
about
who went
it.
looking for him? One of the other guests went looking for him. Who'd been there before. Said, Steve, what you doing? I'm hanging out. Why are you up here? What? Why aren't you downstairs? What? Go downstairs and get drunk, Steve. And then you found he ended up hanging around for until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Then once he I can talk to people. Yeah, you're allowed to talk to people. Go.
Yeah.
And I think Peter Cullen is going to spend a lot of his time upstairs. And I think you will not, especially if you're having to pay to even get in for an autograph. I think he's going to be more an event than a person here.
Yeah. Again,
not
like
not
you
a
said.
comment on Mr. Cullen at all.
Yeah.
That's just a comment on the nature of the business. Because this is a business for him as well.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
He has to cover costs. He has to make a bit of money out of this. Or else, he does the convention circuit now. He has to do so many a year, every year now. He's got to make something out of it, or else it's just, a fun but non-profitable exercise.
If you don't want to pay for Peter Cullen either, though, at least you can go and see the panel
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, I
you,
think
you will get to see him at the very least. You just
Yeah.
won't get to autograph or talk to him. Again, maybe we're wrong, and maybe he will be buzzing about the bar like a little busy bee, but I
Throwing
would
beers
be
at people.
surprised.
Yeah.
Throwing men and women into the small lake by the hotel.
He leaves, comes back with one of the geese.
But Pram!
Oh God! I mean, one of the things when you get the voice actors who do a lot of characters is when they start talking to themselves in the different voices.
That's a weird experience.
Greg did it. Scott McNeil does it every time he's there
Yes.
because Scott McNeil's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be surprised if we I don't know if you could get him back now.
Scott McNeil.
Yeah, because I heard he had a bad experience with auto assembly.
Oh, right, okay.
He apparently liked the convention, but there was some behind the scenes stuff that I don't know. But there's been a big shift in
that sounds like
stuff,
a Simon Plum kind of problem.
Yes, well, Simon, I think he's still trying to restart auto assembly.
Is he? Yeah. Oh well.
I occasionally see something about it. But yeah, it's weird for me as someone who has been in this fandom this long, who has never had the opportunity to meet a lot of these people. I would care so much more if Darren Norris was there, because I'm interested in his career outside of Transformers as much as I like Knockout.
Yeah.
And yeah, he has had such a crazy career. Like, he has been in, like, I want to know what it was like being the funny Batman. Like, the kind of, not the best Batman, but one of the best Batman.
That was Brave and the Bold, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is also the one that tackled the murder the most.
Yeah.
where Batman has to decide, is he going to kill his parents' murderer?
Yeah, that was there was oddly good episodes in that.
Yeah.
They were all good, but they were oddly dark episodes in the show.
The one where they did the Emperor Joker storyline where he gets murdered multiple times.
God, yeah.
Yeah. Or like his stuff with Dexter Lab or the early cartoon stuff. I'd love to have Darren Norris is someone I'd love to have a chat with. I'd also like us to try and get in animators, because I want to know what they do.
Yeah.
Voice actors are the big seller, but there are other people I would be way more excited for, both outside Transformers and inside Transformers. But Peter Cullen for me is, I have never been to a Peter Cullen panel, but I know what he's going to say at all his panels. Because he is so prolific.
Yeah.
And I don't have that emotional connection to him as an actor or as Optimus Prime as a character. So, in fact, like I've said before, I think his performance has unfortunately, and no fault of the man himself, tainted a lot of my feelings for most versions of Optimus Prime.
It's interesting how that happened, isn't it? Because, like you say, it's not his fault at all. It's just the direction that the company's decided to go with Optimus Prime, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not, my favorite Optimus Prime is the one who was kind of considering, should I be as bad as the bad guys? Mm-hmm. And also wasn't voiced by anyone, so they didn't have that trap. I would rather, if I want to see an Optimus Prime, I kind of want Gary or David Kaye to come back.
Okay.
Because I think those are the ones that really engage me. But the company's decisions have kind of killed any enthusiasm I have for seeing Optimus Prime, and that has spilled over to Peter Cullen. I won't lie. But no, I'm rambling a bit now. But do you have anything to add or any opinions?
I don't think so. I think we've pretty much covered it. It'd be interesting to see how, I guess, the TF Nation continues going on. I'm surprised. Actually, no, I'm not surprised, because I think they had to announce Peter before putting tickets on sale, because it's not like you could put tickets on sale and then do Peter Cullen afterwards. So I think if they do have any other big guests, they'll go up before tickets go on sale, just so you know, here are the big guests, and there you go, you're all sorted. So if Frank is coming, we'll probably hear about it within the next 2 to 3 months, I would guess.
Yeah, I would say you'll definitely hear, because with that they'll need to tell you, so there is time to save.
Exactly, yeah. And then we'll get to find out what's going on with that and go, oh no, or oh that's okay, or oh
no,
oh yeah. But yeah, there you go, Mikey. We've done all the news for this week. I don't think we've got anything else, unless I missed out on some stuff, which I don't think I did.
Nothing that pops to mind.
All right then, Mikey, what have you been up to this week? What have you done? Fun.
What have I done for fun? Did a bit of TV watching.
Oh yes.
Ruby episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think the low key stuff is overall good, but they are taking way too much time in the pacing in this season.
Oh really?
Usually they have quite tight pacing, especially in the last few seasons. This one feels they're spending a lot of time on one, like basically the last couple of episodes and have been one long scene and then a capper at the end. And the long scenes are usually extended periods of kind of sort of going over the same stuff.
Right.
So it's only a few episodes in. I'm still like, what they're doing, I'm still liking. It's just I kind of like, okay, we're 4 episodes in. Can we start laying a bit of groundwork for where this is going?
Do you think this is a problem with just the writing team in general? Do you think this is due to Rooster Teeth being, having business shifting overs and whatnot, and maybe having some issues with that?
I think this is a writing team thing.
Okay.
Just a couple. I'm not going to say it's a writing team problem because, like I said, I see what they're doing. But I feel like someone said we need to spend time on this, and they didn't quite have something like this. Really needed cutaways. Like this needed a B plot, and I'm usually actually not a big fan of B plots. But like, there's other characters that we're not spending time with that are relevant to the story that we could be cutting to every few minutes or something like that. We've had 2 episodes now that are basically long extended bits of the Team Ruby talking to someone else.
Right.
And also like, oh, we're professionals, we're not friends, we're just teammates, and like, we don't really need that, do we? Because we've done that one a few times already in the show. But yeah. Also, I really want to know what's going on with fucking Cinder, because like she had one really cool episode in the last season. Now I'm just like, where is she? This is a big deal. She's a scary lady with one arm. But yeah, watched 01 episode 11, which is a fun one. Interesting. There is an interesting storyline here. It really just clicked with me what they're doing.
What they're doing.
The bad guys as like, oh, we are going to take over the world and everything else, blah, blah, blah. What most of their plans seem to be is creating a situation where they discredit the hidden industries company that are producing the Humagears.
Okay.
So, whether it's the main bad guys, Horobi and Jin and their fellas, or whether it's there's now a sub-antagonist being introduced to the corporate guy, everything they're doing is kind of like saying, hey, maybe this company shouldn't be allowed to make these things anymore. Because, look, they keep going bad. Bad shit keeps happening. And then it made me realize that the entire plot of the first 10 episodes was Naruto trying to basically repair the reputation of the company with it being constantly undermined. And that just really clicked with me.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No,
Do you think
it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. It's a nice little execution. We are, of course, hitting about episode 11 or 12, so I think we need to start kicking it up a bit of a notch.
I hear people like Robot Wife.
Robot Wife is cool. She runs in unusual ways.
She runs but at walking speed, or walks at running speed.
But her hands will never move.
Yes.
And I like all the characters. I like the visuals. I like the filming style. I think the fight scenes could do with a bit of work, but I think that's just the director's style. Good suit acting. Also found out that the guy who does who used to do the main riders, who retired, he's now doing the main villain rider in this.
Oh, cool.
So he basically just said, "I've retired. I'm over here."
No, he's retired as the main Kamen Rider and has now got a new job as the villain.
It was just like, are you going to leave? No. But you quit. I'm not leaving.
I quit your role. I've now got a new role.
But we hired someone for that. Yeah, you thought you had.
It was me, as he pulls off a mask.
I was Seiji Takegawa all along.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm interested. I am interested in where this little thing is going. I just want to see a bit more pace come on.
Okay.
Also, I didn't realize they for the next episode, because it is a detective themed one, they're getting in the writer for Double and Drive, because it's a police procedural one apparently.
Well, that makes sense.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And it's also introducing the new form. So be curious to see about that. nothing major in the anime section. Just sort of catching up on a few old ones I'd seen years ago. Rewatched a bit of Persona 4.
Oh, yes.
But the big thing TV-wise this week was Season 3 of Dragon Prince came out on Friday.
Oh, wow. How many episodes?
There are 9 episodes.
Is that more than usual? Is that about the same?
About the same. I will say this has a much more finale feel about it, even though there's supposed to be 4 more seasons.
Oh.
Is
that a good thing or a bad thing? Is that like a thing you might need to worry about?
I don't feel like I do.
Okay. That's a worrying statement.
I feel this was a really good season.
Right.
A very different season. Like, this, basically, the last 2 seasons have been about the journey, and this has been about wrapping up that element of the journey and introducing an extra villain, introducing big conflicts. This has the biggest fight scenes of the show so far. It's also been re-rated. It is now PG-13.
What was it before? Like E for Everyone or something?
Yeah.
For Everyone.
Well, it was PG-7.
Okay. Oh, well, it's gone up a big amount.
Well, it was always pushing the boat a bit for its rating.
Yeah, it's true, I suppose.
And there are a couple of moments and they're just like, I'm a little uncomfortable looking at this. Because things like, the big dragon, Thunder, the one from the intro, the big white one.
Yes.
Yeah. We find out how he died. Not well.
I was going to say pleasantly.
It was extended. And it was, there was a moment in it I just went, oh no!
Yes.
Oh. There's also a couple of bits with some arrows that I suspect you may want to not have your 4-year-old looking at. Also, the many kissings. So many kissings, Andy. So much kissings.
Lots of smooches.
There's the smooches aplenty. But no, I thought this was a very, very strong season. Something I like is that I don't know where season 4 is going anymore.
Right.
I kind of want there to be a bit of a time skip, to be honest. Just because I want the baby dragon to age up so he can be a bit more of a character. Because we've got talking dragons in this one, so he will be able to talk at some point.
But like a time jump, like for the dragon to actually be dragon-sized, don't dragons age usually really slowly, so it'd be like a 500-year skip.
Hey, Andy, remember, what was his name? Alexander?
From
TNG.
What, the next... Oh, yeah!
Remember how old he was in DS9?
He's like in his 20s, I guess.
Yeah, and how old was he in TNG?
I don't know, like 8,
5 to 8. And then And then they said like, oh, Klingons age faster.
Did they say? They didn't say that.
Klingons reach physical maturity in under 10 years.
No, when did what episode is that?
I don't. Oh, I think it's that. I think it's one of the early ones. But,
get the fuck out of here!
I'll get.
Get the fuck out of this shop.
But like Klingons also live longer than us.
Okay, no, I don't believe that. Mainly because they get killed. But I know what you're saying.
Well, no, but they naturally live longer than us, like 150 years minimum.
They should, yeah.
So hang on, Klingon babies. I saw this one. But,
I must search for Klingon babies.
Oh god, there are people who put little Klingon riches on their children.
Oh no.
You're bad parents. Yeah, there's a lot of really good action in this one. There's a great beats Game of Thrones dragon scene.
Right.
With just dragons versus an army, and it's just this strafing scene, and I was just like, Jesus, it's good. The character stuff is excellent. We spend a lot more time with the ant with the shield, Amaya.
Okay.
She's got a lot more to do in this, and she's cool, and I like her a lot. We also spend a lot of time with the villain and his children, with Viren and the kids, and I think they did a real good job of showing how some people rise, some people fall, and all for the same reasons. But yeah, like I don't know, like I don't want to really go into deep spoilers or anything like that, because it is really worth seeing. Big thing is I went back and I rewatched season 1.
Okay.
The animation difference is jarring.
I remember season 1 being a bit... I mean, we said it when it came out, it was a janky.
Yeah, like purposefully janky. Like they did it on purpose, but it was a bit weird, shall we say? And like I said, it improved as the series went on. But the animation now is smooth. It's smooth as butter.
Yay.
There's a few bits that are like, and here's a couple of frame drops because we are trying to make it look a bit more like traditional animation, but it actually looks like traditional animation.
Right.
It doesn't look like this is what a blind person thinks traditional animation looks like. So yeah, I was really, really pleased with it. Some real good story stuff. Yeah, Klingons start entering maturity between the ages of 7 and 13, and they're fully grown. They age very rapidly.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find the exact thing, because they needed to explain why Alexander got recast.
Because shut the fuck up. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
He was 8 years. He was born. Yeah. So he was born in 2366, and the DS9 episode took place in 2374. So he was 8 years old when he was a member of the Klingon Defense Force.
Oh.
So he was an 8-year-old.
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, Dragon Prince, really, really solid. Highly, highly, highly recommended. In my opinion, the best animation on Netflix. Kind of kicks the crap out of She-Ra, to be honest. Which I have been trying out season 2, and I'm just like, all my problems are still here.
Oh no.
All the things I liked are still there, but all the problems are still here.
Right.
Also, does Gay better than She-Ra as well? Deal with it, because I just think it does it better.
Okay.
Then again, I think it might also be I like the characters in this who happen to be gay a bit more than I do in She-Ra. I'm rambling now. The other thing, of course, was Data Boy continues to give my life away. I'm approaching the halfway mark, I think, maybe a bit further. But yeah, story is very, very engaging.
Even though you already know it technically.
Yes, and I think that means there's a lot of replay value because of that. If you just want to come back to it in 6 months' time. But the very good acting in this, just very good. Gameplay-wise, very satisfying. Good combat system. Great world design. It's open world, but quite small.
Yeah.
And quite linear. And there's just enough exploration to make me feel I'm doing something without me falling into we're doing time sinks.
Yeah, you're not wasting time going back and forth.
Yeah, you go back and forth when you need to, and there's a lot of revisiting old things, but there's always a reason to revisit.
Sure.
There's super strong bosses who can be really frustrating, but because of how much you enjoy the combat system, you really feel like you want to kick them in the face.
Okay.
So you will replay some fights 10, 15 times to beat that one guy. And it's optional as well. I don't have to fight them.
You just gotta win.
Yeah. But yeah, I really, really like that. That's a 10 out of 10 game. It really, really is. Really wish we had some words on a sequel.
Yeah, probably not till PS5 time.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Or it'll at least be a shared. I'd say it'd be a shared exclusive, but it'll probably be PS5 because the PS4 game is going to be on the PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just really, really good. Really, really good, Andy.
Good.
Really good. What about you? What's your week and rest of the week been like?
My weekend end week. Not a huge amount. I've been for my nighttime viewing. I've gone back and I've decided to rewatch Gundam Unicorn, the 7 movie OVA series. I think it was 7. It was either 6 or 7. Let's have a quick check because I want to know 7. And I'm doing something which you probably won't believe, Mikey. What do you think I'm doing with it?
You are buying kits?
No, that's something I'm obviously doing, and because I'm weak. The thing I'm doing with the anime is I'm actually watching it dubbed. Do you know what's even more surprising, Mikey?
What?
It's not terrible, at least by my standards. I'm like, I don't think I enjoyed as much as if I saw it in Japanese. But I remember originally watching it, and I only realized this when the trademark popped up and said when it came out it's like 2010. I was like, Jesus, I didn't think Gundam Unicorn was this fucking old. But I remember there was a lot of political stuff talking about again, political intrigue and companies, and I had difficulty trying to remember what companies were involved in Laplace's box and what Laplace's box is, because no one really knows, so it's a bit of a fluid concept. So I was like, okay, I'll save myself some strain on reading and trying to put things together and just watch it dubbed. And I'm like, okay, no, it's not terrible. I recognize a lot of the voice actors because, hey, Bato from Ghost in the Shell, nice to see you. I'm pretty sure I heard Goku from Dragon Ball, the newer one, Sean Schmemmels, Mr. Schmemmels. I think I heard him in there, but yeah, it's not terrible. It's not as I say, my preferred version, but it's really good. It's really a good set of OVA movies. It gets you involved in the action very quickly, and it gives you some very interesting characters. And with it does the Gundam thing of showing you war and horrors and how people are dealing with it, and in quite a human way. It's very watchable. It holds up really fantastically, and the animation in it is very top tier as well. And unlike other Gundam things where the Gundam pilot usually goes, we shouldn't be fighting, and then goes around killing a bunch of people, there are a lot more consequences for when the main character Banasha has killed someone. He's like emotionally distraught, like, fuck, I can't believe I've killed someone, rather than going like that and then going like, well, fuck it, time to kill everybody in my super powerful robot suit. He's a lot more, I'm not gonna kill. I'm not gonna do it, even though he has a super overpowered suit. So it's got a really good message as well. I'd recommend, if you haven't seen Gundam Unicorn, watch it. You can probably watch it without watching any of the other UC stuff. I think it still would make sense, and it carries a lot of the themes, even like visual themes from the previous Gundam series in the same universe over to it. So it's not like you just kind of dumped into the universe. I think it's still watchable. So I've been enjoying that a lot. I watched an episode of this season 3, The Toys That Made Us, and it was on the Toitles. It was okay. It was okay. I think my problem with it is it's got a very... I don't like the editing that they've got on the videos. I don't like how the video is edited. It's very almost YouTube-y. Like YouTube vlogger kind of humor sometimes. So it doesn't have that professional lick of paint to it. I feel I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not a style that I think should be done for a Netflix series. But that's more me just being snobby, I think, more so than anything else about it. It's fairly interesting. I wouldn't say it's the most interesting lore, I guess, on the making of the Turtles, and say like when I watched the Barbie one, which I think was one of the most interesting, because obviously I knew nothing about it. Isn't there? I'm trying to remember. Isn't there like a really good documentary on the making of the Turtles already? Maybe.
I swear there is on Netflix, or was on Netflix at one point.
I wouldn't know for sure, but if there was, maybe that's why I feel I already know a lot of the information on this already, for the most part, and nothing new was really given to me. But if you've never, if you know nothing about the Turtles, you jump in this and you'd be probably as enjoyable as the rest of it. So I've got other stuff from the Toys That Made Us, because it's still an interesting show. It's a good, I'll have my dinner and watch that and go, I remember those toys. One thing I didn't know was the original Turtle toys had tails, but they got rid of the tails because they looked like penises in silhouettes.
I did not know that.
No, which makes sense, because you see this little thing dangling between the legs, and you're like, oh, it's a penis. Wow. But yes. So yeah, I thought that was probably the thing that I didn't know, and the thing that I found the most interesting, that the original molds for Turtles, and when I say the original, I mean like the prototype Turtles, which were never put into productions, had a little tail on them.
Yeah. 2014 documentary, Turtle Power, The Definitive History of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't think I saw that. But maybe
on IMDb.
Maybe I absorbed the information from other people talking. I must have, because anyway, never mind. So I watched that. So that was good. Mandalorian Chapter 3. As I said on Skype, I guess because we're on to episode 3 now, and the plot is still relatively slow, I don't want to say too much about it because I know a lot of people like Star Wars, and it's technically not available in the UK yet.
But no one cares.
Well, that is a thing. Especially people don't care online for spoilers. But I don't want to be one of those people that gives it away.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, you will be hated.
Yeah, which is weird because everyone's talking about it. It's massive. Like, loads of people are loving it. I don't think it's as good as people are saying. But I said this online. The structure of the episodes feels like a Samurai Jack episode because there's not much dialogue. Because it's a lot of visual storytelling in a lot of ways. But I think that's also kind of a detriment because I don't know what the plot is. I don't know what it's trying to do with what the end goal of the Mandalorian is. And usually within the first few episodes, you have a basic idea of where the story's going to go for the most part. And with the Samurai Jack episode, you know, it's an individual episode. It's Jack goes on a journey, he solves a problem, and he doesn't get home ever. Hey Jack, we have a time travel machine. This'll get you home. Sweet. Oh, it blew up. Fuck. Samurai Jack back from the past. It's still enjoyable. The action's still good. It's still very pretty to see. Still very well made.
My phone went off. Why did my phone go off?
I thought that was the monolith from 2001: Space Odyssey knocking on your door. Though the idea of a monolith just floating through your house is quite a terrifying thought.
Nods as it goes by. I'm just like, yeah, but I'd be looking at just like, Kenzaki!
See, I prefer the idea that your eyes fully dilate every time you see it and you just evolve a little bit more.
No, I'm just waiting for the undead, man. They'll be at the door.
No, Mandalorian, still good, still entertaining. I don't love it as much as everybody else, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is kind of being treated as the next big prestige television because Star Wars and Disney.
Yeah.
What I've seen of it, and I probably will watch an episode, I'll probably watch at least the first 3 episodes.
I think it's worth watching.
Very standard space sci-fi. Like space western, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It doesn't do... I don't think it does anything that you wouldn't expect it to do. I think the most unique thing about it is there's not much dialogue. Otherwise, it's very much a bounty hunter's being... So far, I mean, this is the most basic plot, which doesn't give anything away. The bounty hunter, being the Mandalorian, is given a mission to go and get a thing. That's all I'll say about the thing. It goes to get a thing, and then he brings it back and wants to take it back. That's 3 episodes worth of plot.
I should say, I've seen pictures of the thing, and people get way too excited about the thing.
People are like, yeah, the thing is very cute, but people are going fucking nuts over it. They're going fucking crazy over it. Like, if people see the thing in stores, they will murder each other on Black Friday for it. And I wish I could say that was a slight joke.
All porgs.
Yes. Oh man, that would be amazing.
It's not something pretending to be a dog, though, which is nice.
Mikey, what if the Mandalorian goes into the Great Porg Hunt and it mocks Star Trek's Great Triple Hunts?
What if it goes into the porg hunt and just starts like...
They're losing.
I would just kill. I would actually kill to see this because I hate the fucking porgs.
Everyone does, so they should.
No, they love them.
No, they don't. Not real people.
No, but I want to just see him go like he's walking down things and just like, porgs. Bang, 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 bang. Just like smoldering, puffin corpses lying everywhere. Just like, oh, don't eat us, Chewbacca. Oh, eat him.
But what if porgs like can dislocate their jaw and swallow people?
You know what? Do that. I'd be more into that.
Wouldn't that be amazing and horrifying? Like, you don't fuck with a porg because an angry porg will fuck your life up real bad and ingest you slowly.
Oh, I hate it. I hate that. Like, I'll be honest, I hate that movie.
Yeah, it's a bad movie.
Oh no, Andy, you just don't understand it.
You
don't understand it. I've been told that my problem is I don't understand what they were trying to tell us.
No, it's a bad film.
Are you sure? It could be that we're the problem.
I am a problem. I'm not the problem here. I'm not this problem. That's all the stuff I've been watching. I got a birthday gift to myself in the post, which was nice, which is connected to Gundam Unicorn. It's the Gundam Banshee and the upgrade kit for the Banshee, which is far more expensive than it should have been, unfortunately. But I wanted the upgrade set because the upgrade set gave it its extra weapons, because it's the version that they give you in the standard box is the one by the end where he has a bigger shield and a different kind of thruster pack, where the original version has it's more of the original, because it's a black version of the original Unicorn, because they love doing this shit in Gundam. They love giving you like the darker colored repaint. That's been a thing since Zeta, which was years ago in the 80s. And the original version of the Banshee came with a railgun, an actual railgun that fires that does not fire like a fucking machine gun. Let me tell you. At least I don't think so. The Banshee's in the episode I'm watching tonight, so if I see it firing like a machine gun, don't worry, I'll tweet about it and say, bullshit! Fucking horse shit! It's not a railgun, you piece of fuck! And he also has this claw hand as well. So I got that because I wanted the full Banshee. And it's super impressive. Like, it's a kit that transforms. Have you ever seen the Unicorn Gundam, in quotations, transform into Unicorn mode? Or Destroyer mode?
No. Because I've seen that it has a mode where it has horns.
Yes.
Horn, rather.
Yeah, that's the standard version where it has a single horn. And then all of the lines in it, when it opens up into the, in quotations, Destroyer mode, like, all those panels kind of slide open, so the gap gets bigger in between them, so you can see in terms of the Unicorn's version, like translucent red parts inside, and for the Banshee it's like translucent orange.
And at the end he just suddenly like flips inside out and he turns into Funsaiki.
Luckily he doesn't do that, though. That would be amazing if we had Funsaiki, because Funsaiki's great. But the fact that a 1:144 scale one can do the transformation perfectly through like parts manipulation and stuff like that. There's no like popping off of parts as far as I'm aware. It's just like unclipping things and pulling and reflipping is really impressive. It's taking a long time to build, because obviously there's a lot of parts to facilitate this transformation. But it's really impressive. So far, I've got legs done, the waist's done, the torso's done, the arms are done. I've got the head, the backpack, and then his extra big fancy weapons to do. But he's come along, really liking it a lot. It's a great kit. And I've also been considering this week specifically because I'm like, man, it'd be great to get Gundam Breaker 3, which was a Japanese-only PS4 game, with English subtitles in it. They put English subtitles in it. And I was like, oh man, I could play that game. And people in America and other places outside of Japan have played that game and say it's really good. Especially compared to the new Gundam Breaker, which is the fourth one in the series, and is shit. It's got less features, and it plays worse than the third one, which is odd. I was like, maybe I should get a PS4 now. So I've been dabbling around going, do I get a PS4? If I do get a PS4, do I get a PS4 Pro? For the faster load times. The 4K doesn't really bother me too much because I don't have a 4K TV. But the load times are dramatically shorter, apparently, for the Pro, which is not terrible. And then it's like, well, how much do I pay? And the prices for like a new console. Did you get yours new or used, Mikey?
New. Mine was
okay. Yeah, I'm still surprised how expensive the PS4 is.
It hasn't really dropped in price.
No.
But it's like so popular, that's the thing. Like there's never
I think
they've never
that's
had
why.
to increase its marketability.
Yeah, I heard that the Xbox One or the Xbox One X, whichever one it is usually like $70 off or something most of the time, probably because it's not as good of a console, or it doesn't have the exclusives as we were looking at before the show started, and we saw how many exclusives the Xbox had, and we were just like, oh, bless you. You've got nothing. Well, at least in our eyes, you've got nothing because we don't like Halo or Forza. Stupid car games. So I'm still thinking, like, is it worth getting that, or is it worth waiting for the PS5, which will be backwards compatible with PS4 games? But when does that come out? Does that come out next year? Who knows? When does it come out?
We don't know what the status will be for international games.
That's true. Yeah.
So it might be, worth considering that.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. It's tricky because like the cheapest I found the PS4 Pro without its box was like 250, 260.
You're not going to get better than that.
No, I
There's
know.
no chance of getting better than that.
No, and that's obviously it's not new; it's used and everything like that. So it's a bit more of a risky business. But it's a big drop, especially when you go, oh, so I bought that and now I need to buy a game as well, which is 30 or more quid or something.
Or food.
Yeah, there's that too, because I gotta eat. Though I did see on have you heard of PlayAsiaMikey.com?
Yes.
I've seen that the Gundam Build Breaker is on there for like Black Friday deals, so I might buy that regardless and just be like, okay, if I buy this now, then I'll either be persuaded to in the future or I'll be able to play it in the future regardless. So that might be an idea that I do that just because it's on the big sales at the moment anyway. I don't think I've done anything else. I'm looking through my stuff. And yeah, I think that's about it. So Mikey, thank you for joining me this week on the Moonbase 2 podcast. As we said last week, we're holding off on questions for a bit, so don't worry about that. Yep. If you want to send them in, you can do. We'll put them in the backlog pile and get to them in time. Where can people find you on the internet, Mr. Mikey?
You can find me on Irish Paleo on Twitter, and if you want to leave us any feedback, the messages are over on the moonbase2@gmail.com, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, Libsyn, CC Bunker, everywhere really. Also, I've got the Fossil Fic podcast, which episode 2 I have planned out. I haven't had the chance to sit down and actually record it, but I hopefully will have it done by this Friday. Again, it's still early days. I'm just still trying to find my footing with it. But yeah, so that is up there on iTunes, and it's currently hosted by Podbean.
Do you know how soon in your community of paleo nerds?
It's starting to do it like for a very, very early pilot thing. It's doing okay. I've already gotten some requests.
Okay.
For shows to do, so I've got 2 or 3 of them. So I think that's pretty good. We'll see. Basically. Anyway, Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter as CCTFW. You can find me on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on Moonbase 2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletron 2. You also get it a week early. I'll need to put up the free version of the show, I think, tomorrow or Tuesday, one of the two. And you also get the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things. That was going to go up, or be at least recorded this week, but someone was very, very ill, the guest I was going to record with. So what's probably going to happen is this month's will be pushed back to next month, and next month in Christmas, December time. You'll get 2. You get the one for this month, and you'll also get the special Christmas episode as well, because I want to...
I was going to record one as well this week.
Were you?
And didn't get a chance to.
Oh, man. Was it just you, or was it with people?
With people. There was scheduling conflict.
Oh, man.
Actually, I've got 2 that I need to just get the schedule sorted out, but it's just trying to pin people down.
Terrible, untrustworthy people.
Humans!
You know who they are. Oh, they know who they are.
You know who you are.
So I think that's everything, Mr. Mikey. So thank you for joining me this week, sir.
Thank you for having me, Andy. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, I enjoy it when you lie to me like this. So until next week, everyone, we will catch you for more Moonbase 2 action, or news, if there is any action.
Action.
News.
You are now leaving Moonbase 2.